Alexis McAllister set to sign for Manchester United. Hello everyone and thank you for being part of this podcast and make your point, subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've definitely got to bring to you as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related. Right up here at the United chapter with me, your host Abu KALS, as we talk transfers. You already know the transfer window is in. We're definitely talking about transfers, who's gone where, who's remaining at the club, and not forgetting who is the club going to be buying and selling. Anyway, we are talking about the one and only McAllister, Alexis McAllister, who is a Brighton and Hove football player who's been playing quite well before, and right about now, we must say that he is a hot cake. There is quite a lot that is definitely going on with a lot of clubs that are interested in him joining their sides, but Manchester United is leading the race right about now. You'll be remember that McAllister has a deal that runs until June of 2025 with an additional 1-year exception for Brighton, signed weeks before he went to the World Cup. Although United's priority is a striker, he is on their list. So not only is he on their list, but also on Chelsea's list. And when we talk about Chelsea and hijacks, you definitely know what we definitely mean. So a lot is definitely going on. And right about now, you'll remember that the last season, you remember what definitely happened with the midfielders. And that left a bit Erik ten Hag a little bit in a bit in sort of a complicated situation. Manchester United is looking for a forward and is definitely focusing on the forward, but they also definitely looking at reinforcement in the midfield. We'll remember that the midfield that contains football players who are very wonderful, very good, I must say, and Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen are the main options that Manchester United had, and Erik ten Hag definitely has come out and said a few things about what is going to be happening in the summer transfer window. But he said that definitely is going to be looking for a midfielder. But now we're talking about why Manchester United definitely needs a midfielder. If you watched the game last season, if you definitely watched the game, the midfield was a bit not the best. The players are good, the players are okay, but the options definitely were not there. The fact that Bruno Fernandes got a few injuries now and then, definitely that would have left Christian Eriksen as their available option. But again, Christian Eriksen was not available because he had a long-time injury. He later came back, but he had an injury, and that we saw also Sebsa definitely coming in, and we thought possibly, but Sebsa's future at Manchester United is definitely uncertain as he's been on a contract, and we could see the club not renewing his contract, not even renewing it, but he was definitely on loan. So Manchester United should definitely use this opportunity to sign Alexis McAllister because his deal runs out in the summer, not in the summer anyway, runs out in 2025, summer 2025, and that definitely means Brighton and Hove cannot make some money off him when he definitely leaves. Then will be a free agent, and I don't think Brighton and Hove is a club that will let go just like that. I think they are looking at selling the player because they want to make a bit of more money off him. And as you know, Brighton and Hove management are always looking at the money side, making a bit of profit and stuff like that. So they are definitely into this 100%. So if Manchester United definitely need the football player, I think Manchester United should sell. A few football players that are not of use at the club, as Erik ten Hag definitely thinks that some of the football players did not play quite well and they're not on the standards he wants them to be, and we could be seeing heartfelt goodbyes to very many football players in the summer transfer window. So I think it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be quite okay for the club to make sure they get a few football players. But I think what they are doing, selling a few football players and getting the ones that really matter, that is going to be a brilliant one. So we need to see the impact of Alexis McAllister. He is a very wonderful one, I must say. He's a very good one, and he's helped Brighton and Hove. If you've watched even the game where Manchester United played Brighton and Hove in the semi-finals, where Manchester United had to go 1-on-1 with Manchester City. But before that, Manchester United in the semi-finals with Brighton and Hove, you could see Alexis McAllister, how he performed definitely brilliantly. That's the game that made Erik ten Hag finalize with getting this gentleman. You had seen him in the World Cup, I must say, because he's been playing for Argentina. Erik ten Hag saw this gentleman in the World Cup and was like, oh, he's a very good football player. I think if he joins Manchester United, it will be a great deal. It will be something big for the club. But that was definitely not enough. We didn't see that as enough. He went on and definitely played for Brighton and Hove and performed quite well, scoring more than 10 goals as a midfielder is definitely a brilliant thing. So Erik ten Hag is happy to have this gentleman. So let's look a little bit about who is Alexis McAllister. So, Alexis Macalista is an Argentine professional football player who plays as a central midfielder, attacking midfielder or a defensive midfielder. That's quite great. He can play as an attacking midfielder, defensive midfielder, and central midfielder. And that's what the club definitely is looking at. That's what our club is looking for in any midfielder. Can he play all the roles when needed? And that's Macalista. So, he's a defensive midfielder, he's an attacking midfielder, central midfielder, and he's been playing for Brighton and Hove and the Argentine national team. I'll remember that this gentleman was born on the 24th of December 1998, and that definitely makes him 24 years of age. And he was born in Argentina. His current teams have been Brighton and Hove, and he's a midfielder playing for the Argentine national team. And also, he's 1.74 meters long, and the dates that he joined Brighton and Hove, in 2020. Definitely, that has been quite great for McAllister. He's a very good one. He's definitely a very wonderful football player. It will be remembered that he scored quite a number of goals for Brighton and Hove. He scored a goal in the World Cup. Out of 6 appearances, he managed to score 1 goal, and also made an assist in the World Cup for Argentina. And not forgetting that he is a World Cup winner. Definitely a very good one. And the much of the success that Brighton and Hove has enjoyed has also been attributed to Alexis McAllister, plus also Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo is also anticipated to be joining the club, Manchester United. We'll be seeing, could Manchester United be having 2 of their players, 2 of Brighton and Hove players, because he's interested in Caicedo, Moises Caicedo, who was the man of the match between Brighton and Manchester United. Definitely, he was a very good one, also played quite well. Manchester United is interested in him and is willing to put a lot of money on him. Anyway, let's see what definitely this gentleman can bring on the table, and I'll be also answering some of your questions. So, somebody's asking, how good is McAllister? Let me see how good is McAllister. Formed as a number 10, McAllister has great technical skills when receiving in those positions. He possesses good fast touch and manipulates the ball quite well, and he can easily play at different velocities, recycling the possessions and with low tempos, passes, timings, and attacks, or accelerating the play in the last third. And that's what makes him an exceptional football player. He's definitely a very good one. And somebody's also asking, how much did McAllister cost for Brighton and Hove? McAllister won't be allowed to leave Brighton and Hove unless they have paid more than £60 billion because that's what they got him for. Because definitely that's what they have said they want. But I think his prices will definitely be going up very soon because he is a hot cake. Loads of clubs definitely want this gentleman. And we can also see, let me see how old this Macalista is. 24 years. He was born in December the 24th, and that was in 1998. Yeah, then who owns Macalista Tools? That's no. And is Macalista British? No, he's not British. Macalista is Argentine. Yeah. So let me see if there are any more questions. Is Alexis back British? We've tackled that. Thank you for the questions. You can keep them coming in. You can keep the questions coming in. Anyway, let's see. So having talked about that, we need to see about the wages. How much has he been getting at Brighton and Hove? So it will be remembered that Alexis Macallister's player salary in 2020. Let's see how much he's been getting at Brighton and Hove since 2018. Now since 2019-2020 was on £10,000 and right per week, and 10 until 2020. In 2022-2023 he's been on £30,000 per week. That's quite that's a weekly salary, £30,000 per week. But I think that's very little money for Manchester United, and I think Manchester United is going to increase his wages. If Manchester United gets him, they're going to increase his wages. He's going to be a comfortable man. But it will be remembered that it's not only Manchester United that is interested in him. Chelsea are also deeply interested in signing Macallister, and with Chelsea, they put in quite a lot of money. They definitely put in quite a lot of money, with Todd Bowley injecting in more than £600 million ever since he joined the club, and since he took ownership, ever since he became the co-owner of the club, putting in more than £600 million. FFP rules are definitely knocking on his door, but he is not bothered. He thinks he's going to go away with it because he wants to sell a few football players and then also buy. We could be seeing a lot of Chelsea football players being sold, and this could be a chance for Manchester United to buy some of the football players because they've got quality in there, but they've not got the right manager. They didn't have the right manager before, so I think that is also something that Manchester United could use as a tool, because Chelsea's looking at selling. I mean, they've got very wonderful football players, very good football players, and they did quite a lot of hijacks in the general transfer window, and those hijacks didn't even help. They didn't help at all because they have been playing very, very bad. So it could be a chance for Manchester United to hijack, just as they hijacked, as Chelsea hijacked some of the Manchester United targets like Joao Felix. We thought Joao Felix could definitely end up at Manchester United, and all was said they were ready to pay the amount of money, and what was in the news for him for just 6 months was £20 million to sign him on loan. But right about now he's looking for a permanent deal. We could also be seeing Manchester United signing him on permanent deal. Let's wait and see how all this goes. But for now, we should make sure that the hijack does not happen. Manchester United should make sure that the hijack of Macallister doesn't happen. If they badly need him, if Manchester United badly need him, then they need to take a step forward and go on and sign the star, because he is a hot cake, and once you leave a hot cake until the mid of the transfers, you've got no chance at all. You've got no chance whatsoever, because Manchester United is not the only club that is interested in him, with Chelsea being interested in this gentleman, with Arsenal also being interested in this gentleman ever since even the last summer transfer window. There were links of Macallister joining Arsenal, and in this in the last concluded general transfer window also, it was linked to Arsenal. But right about now, Arsenal is not willing to inject in the money, because Arsenal sometimes is not not into bidding wars because they are too tight. They don't give out quite a lot of money on buying. So definitely that leaves Manchester United as the sole favorites for McAllister. And I think things will go on quite well for Manchester United and for McAllister. Otherwise, thank you for being part of this. Make it a point to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss it on whatever we've definitely got to bring to, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Manchester United related, right about here at the United chapter with me, your lovely host, Abu KALS. Thank you and goodbye.